Rogue continues to be a driving force. You know, considering the fact that Praying Kids has been like one of the highest represented decks, anytime you can see like this large amount of Rogue doing well, it's time for more tournament results. The PPG from this week. Oh, by the way, smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Oh boy, so PPG's come and gone out of this weekend for Kentucky, and we've covered the Sunavalon list out of this list. But I will say, in terms of the generalized breakdown for this, Praying Kids at 31% being the highest driving deck. Not surprised about that at all, ladies and gentlemen. Plunder Patroll being the second highest represented besides Sword, Soul, and Dragon Link. Well, you know, I honestly, the fact that Plunder Patrol is like maintaining like this good assertive dominance on the format, I think is a good indicator based on like how the format has really shaped up, depending on how, I guess it's all about your elements, you know, which elements are going to be the best and effective points. So that's really good. Sword, Soul, and Dragon Link, highest representation next to that. I'm not really surprised about. DDD got a top cut. You know, DDD kind of went dormant there for a good like 2-week window, and I'm glad to see that it did get the chance to come back here for a top 16. We also had Sky Striker, Phantom Knights, oh boy. We also had Sunavalon. We had a 3-access, basically, based deck where, you know, normal summon Sangan effectively is full combo for that deck. So, overall, you know, this breakdown is pretty freaking good. You got some Rogue. That's really what makes these kind of videos good to see here. Now, as we move on along here into first place, here was Austin Coling here playing a fully extended out Praying Kids variant with small worlds and things like that. Yield DB grinder here. I also see here that we have the Ghost Mourners down here in the side deck. Honestly, seeing a full extended out 60 card variant for this deck does not surprise me, but I am glad to see that you do get diversity and things present in the format here, especially, you know, as we go forward here. So this is pretty freaking cool, all things considered. Next up here, second place was Sean playing Plunder Patrol. Plunder Patrol has had a pretty decent showing, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean this. Like, this deck, once again, players don't really know how to handle it in certain situations, but do not underestimate what this deck can do. Lice is a very good card. All right. Also, you know, all your generic water shenanigans, you know, all things aside, yeah, honestly, this topping Indie Regional, now getting a second place here, very, very good. Next up here was third place, 3-access based, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, normal summon Sangan is basically full combo for this deck, because you just get the ability to just start combo. You have all the extenders in the world. They're the rest of the packages. I see you have the Basil Rose shoot package in here, and you basically just play synchro good stuff. Just put as many good cards on the field as you can. That side deck down there, though, with no materials and all the other good stuff, okay, that's definitely very interesting in terms of option trees here. Next up here was Joseph Dietrich here playing another Praying Kids variant. I believe that this is pretty similar to the first place variant, if not all the way, except for a couple side deck choices. Archfiend Eccentric down there seeing play. Now, earlier in the format, we did see that Archfiend Eccentrics were starting to go up in price, and I didn't really think much about it back at that point. But the fact that we finally get to see it, I might have missed it in a couple regionals along the way, but I am glad to see that Archfiend Eccentric is getting that love that they really deserve for playability. Next up, here's another Praying Kids variant. There's so much Praying Kids on the top end of things here. Now, the advantage to the 40 versus 60 for Praying Kids here is honestly just the extra resources that you can make, you know. Honestly, this is the era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you look at, like, pile differences and you really will see that just the grindier builds are existing because of the larger card pool structures that they have, which means overall more generic resources. We actually reached the point that more resources is better off. Next up here is Dragon Link, 6th place down here. So this is 60 card Dragon Link as well. I didn't think I would see a 60 card variant perform well here, but alright, ladies and gentlemen. Fairy Tale Snows in here, Chaos Spaces, Brave Engine, full extended out here. There's nothing really too crazy to say about this. Everything in here I think makes sense. The extra full use of extension hand traps, yeah, nothing too crazy about this list. Next up here is Sword Soul Tenyi. Now, this is not like the 1/1 splash where you just like on the small Sword Soul engine. No. We went all the way here. We've maximized Sword Soul package here, and we're still doing our thing. I also see we're very hand trap heavy. Holy crap, man. We got Drolls, everything in the main deck here to kind of counteract a lot of the metagame. I understand why this deck was able to perform and do well. Thank you, hand traps. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Next up here, 8th place was actually none other than a Phantom Knight list. Now, out of bad news here, it looks like this build is, in fact, playing the Omni Negate package. Thank you, Adventurer. Honestly, outside of that, Ronaldo here is actually kind of saucy. So, extension plays? I also see we're playing the Underworld Goddess down there, so you can out anything that might be deemed an issue. Hey, you got enough room in the extra deck. You may as well, right? Next up here is another Dragon Link? Dragon Link with a Dracunity package in it. Okay. So we went all the way out here, and we took more advantage. We're actually playing the Buster Sword in here, too. You know, talk about saucy, ladies and gentlemen. I do like the fact that you can mess around and get some stupid good results. This is very interesting to me in terms of deck design. All right. Next up here was 10th place. This is a Sky Striker list with no Brave package. I am happy to see that regular old Sky Striker can perform well. But once again, when you look at like how the metagame is shaping up for this deck, you have to understand at the end of the day that this deck is carried fundamentally by all of the hand traps that it has. All right, so that's one thing to remember here, ladies and gentlemen. Sky Striker can still perform, but it needs all the hand traps in the world. 11th place here was another Sword Soul variant here. Dominant Couch, by the way. That's a name that's very household around here. I also see we are side decking the Shooting Riser Dragon. That's actually kind of a cool side deck option here. So you can bring that in at any point that you want to start dropping token collectors against your opponent. That's really cute. I like that. I also see we have the one Ghost Mourner in the side deck, or the main deck here as well. This is actually really teched out. I like this list quite a lot. Next up here is another Plunder Patrol list. Alright, so this one didn't quite make it all the way to 2nd place, but that's perfectly fine. I see that this deck is still able to adapt and handle a majority of what you would really say hand traps in here. Brave package present. We're on triple lice for this build. I don't know how I feel about triple lice. You know, we're not doing anything too crazy, but I guess I suppose that comes down to player preference. This build's also not playing Zeus like the other build was. Alright. Next list here is the Sunavalon list. And we talked about this early in the week because I thought that this list was absolutely saucy. Truthfully honest with you, this deck, getting full advantage of the Adventurer package to not really care about what the opponent does is what really will carry this deck to a superior understanding in the format. And I will say that given the right opportunities, this deck is a lot of fun to play, ladies and gentlemen. So do not underestimate a frickin' fun deck like this. Alright, 14th place. Wow! DD was all the way back here. Kind of sad that it didn't get the chance to perform a little bit higher up, but I think that's fine, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, honestly, Pyre's map being like mandatory staple in this deck, I think is what makes this deck really appealing to the average player base. I don't know, at least this does to me. I love that card, extra extending options. Yeah, outside of that, very combo heavy variant. Nothing really too strange out of the left field for that. Let's see here, another Praying Kids variant. Holy crap, man, all the Praying Kids decks all over the place. I think this is the furthest back one, though. I also see that we have triple Cross of Desert. Cross of Desert had a lot of play this weekend. You really do get the chance to see, like, how good Crossout is. Outside of that, I see that we do have the Fusion Destiny package built in here. Honestly, I think a lot of builds are hit or miss with that if they want to play it in the Praying Kids deck or not. It's really up to you in terms of player preference. And then the last list we have here is another Praying Kids variant. This is 44 cards. You may as well just bumped it on up to, you know, 60 and just went the full way here. But we do have the Magician Souls package in here. That's kind of cute. I've seen that kind of come up a little bit in terms of like some of the funner ideas, but I don't know, it kind of feels like it fell off a little bit at the end of the day. So that is your PPG Kentucky breakdown out of this past weekend, and I will say that I'm not surprised. I really am not. You know, this is very well representative of today's metagame, and you know what? I like what we're seeing here. So guys, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.